So it's Beck's third round of chemo today. So a halfway point marks a halfway point for her and us. And I decided today that instead of wandering around Bristol, I'm actually going to bring my bike in. And I parked up in a part of Clifton called Ladies Mile up on the Downs. And in 2016, we were very lucky in Bristol, in the Tour of Britain. We had two stages in 2016 in Bristol. In the morning there was a time trial, and then in the afternoon there was a sort of crit, well it wasn't a crit stage, it was a long lap, several laps of Bristol, taking in the suspension bridge and the Cumberland Basin. And this Ladies Mile along here is where all the teams were warming up. So Steve Cummings literally on his TT bike warming up just there before he took the overall win for the 2016 Tour of Britain. We've been very lucky over the years in Tour of Britain in Bristol. We've had several stage finishes here, sprint stage finishes up on the Downs up here. But yeah, to have that TT stage and that kind of lap stage in 2016 was amazing. So I'm going to do some laps up here. It's about 3.5k with a couple of little kickers and climbs. I'm just going to get the miles in really and work hard up those climbs today until I've got to go and pick Bex up. Now then, I would have filmed some of that set, but when I turned up this morning, the entire lane up from me at Masters was there, and yeah, they're pretty full-on swimmers, so I just didn't even have a chance to think. And then the set was mainly fly intervals interspersed with front crawl. I think we did about 300 meters of fly in total, which for me is really hard work. So don't get any video footage. Simple as that really, because sometimes you just got to do what you've got to do and do the set and try and hang on to their feet and stay in their bubbles, which I didn't do because they're really quick. But if you want to get quicker at something, you've got to go quicker at it, and that definitely felt like a proper swim set. That felt like probably the first proper swim set with efforts since March or February, whenever it was that we had our last master session. But it was good, enjoyed that. Time for breakfast, I think. Locally known as a freeway, which is a ridiculous name, and we have to do a different name for it. However, I've just got to here. It's taken me over half an hour, which is a long time because we tried
However, I will have a couple of jelly babies and a slurp of drink, and head back up there, and then head back, and I'll be done. I haven't done the freeway before. I haven't gone to Lady Bay to Pier, back to Lady Bay and back to Pier before. So I thought, what prime time to do it? Before the summer disappears completely. Anyway, something got. Look at that view. What a gorgeous day. Right, about halfway, I think. That's my estimation. Going to press on. Going to try and catch the tide on the way back that way. So what are you up to now? You 55. So you're on your way back now, are you?
Yeah,
for 6?
And I've got 22 more after that.
Are you going to do 8, are you? Are you really?
That's the plan.
Has that been done before?
Don't know.
I don't think it has.
Perfect day for it.
Oh mate. Well, I'd offer to leave you out on the 6th one, but there's literally no point because you're so much quicker than me. Right, onwards.
Make history.
That's it, done. Hour and 20 minutes, just short of 4k. Not sure if that's the longest swim I've done, but it feels like it. All that remains, I need to head back, stagger up that slipway, like a drunken fool, with my gyroscope, which is kind of down there. So, yeah, it's just fun. Good way to round the week off. You can see how quickly the tide's taken me. I started off under the pier and now that's how far it's taken me, so it's just dragging me out. The tide and the river current, not that it's much current today. Anyway, I better get back in, I am starving.
So as you might be able to tell, I'm back at the university for the first time since March. It feels very strange being back here. Not here to teach actually directly at the minute, we're just making some online videos. For the online content for the courses, but it is a bit strange being back in Bristol and being back in this room for the first time in such a long time. Thought I'd do a very quick wrap up of the training that I've done in this last week because I want to talk about the old bonds in a slightly longer video once I've kind of got my head around exactly what's going on in my head at the minute, because training wise it was a really solid week. I arbitrarily put a goal of 200 kilometers on the bike and 4 kilometers on Strava for swimming, 4 kilometers for swimming, and I achieved both those goals. 200k of bike riding and I think just about 7.5k of swimming or something, and that really worked. It did its job this week, but it's been a really strange head week, and I need a bit of time to really try and get my head around my head because it's not been right. But the training, however, has kind of been a welcome kind of addition to what's been going on. Anyway, I want to talk about that a bit more in this next week. I'm really pleased that I got that swim in yesterday from Lady Bay to the Pier to Lady Bay to the Pier, the so-called three-way. Because I wanted to get it in before the winter kind of kicks in. I'm not really good in cold water, so I wanted to make sure that if the weather does turn suddenly and that becomes my last open water swim, I'll be doing that. 2.5 of those 3 lengths that I did were against the tide, or certainly without the tide in my favour. The last kind of 15 minutes were, but I'm really pleased because I did that on my own without any support and without anyone else with me. Although Gary did help me out, the guy you saw in the video, he did do the 8-way, which is just a miracle as far as I know, and I'm no expert in these things. I think no one else has done that before. Hell of a swim from him, just over 10k I think in terms of his total swim. Just bonkers, absolutely bonkers. Not for me. As much as I enjoyed the 3 lengths that I did, it was beautiful, but I did find it a touch boring. I'm not really good on kind of just tapping out. Lots of different breathing patterns. I was swimming bilaterally, unilaterally to the left, unilaterally to the right, just kind of to break it up a little bit. And yeah, anyway, that was good fun. Sore under the arms, saw where my tri-suit zipper was here. No neck rash, bizarrely. I never got any of that yesterday. Anyway, that wraps this video up for this week. Really solid bike riding, really solid swimming in the pool and open water. Had fun doing that. Don't know what this next week's going to hold because I'm here doing so many videos. So I'll treat this as a rest week, try and do some turbos and at least get out for one long ride on the bike and get in the pool as much as I can. But that wraps it up. Hopefully there'll be a longer video talking about the old bonds because I've got a lot to think about with that this week. And I'll see you sometime later this week, I think, Thursday or Friday, and we'll get a video out then.